But first, we're gonna improve the lighting conditions.
Since we're spending quite some time with my parents-in-law currently, we decided it was a great idea to upgrade the lighting in the workshop. That's gonna help me as well with actually seeing what I'm doing inside, as it's getting cold outside and I don't fancy freezing to death. So we kicked out the old neon tubes and popped up some brand new LED lights.
Looks nice, doesn't it? This time I'll be doing things a bit differently and take everything I learned from skinning the bumper into account. That means being more liberal with the initial coats of epoxy, as well as making sure I get ideal coverage right away with the flakes. I'm still going to be using the hybrid laminating process that works essentially like normal skinning combined with vacuum bagging. But first, let's get the primer on.
I'm using a black primer in case there are spots where the coverage isn't perfect, so we don't have a too light surface shining through. Also, the surface of the fenders is okay to be somewhat rough. It'll give the epoxy and flakes a better bond.
So that's taken care of, let's prep the room.
I'm reusing a bag that I've used for the bumper because there are sadly no pre-made bags in the size that could fit an entire fender, meaning I'll have to do one at a time. Anyway, this is the resin I'm using for pretty much all of my projects. It's called XCR and it's from Easy Composites in the UK. But I'm pretty sure you can use any sort of laminating resin for these kind of projects. Let's get some mixed up. Alright, these are the same flakes as in the previous video. They're simple chopped carbon you can buy in plenty of places by now. I was lucky I got them from the guy that built my bonnet. I'm simply gonna spread them over the entire fender as soon as the epoxy has gotten somewhat tacky. This time I'll lay it on heavy, so I have as much as possible stuck to the fender when it comes out of the bag. Let's go.
The next part is going to be the worst part of the entire process. Right after soaking it once more in epoxy, I have to sand it all flat. I'll be sanding everything in 80 grit so I can sand it down as quickly as I can while not going through the carbon or even a primer. So yeah, masks on. Alright, time for some fun sanding sessions.
Oh.
Yeah, I changed my mind on working outside. Let's go inside.
Since I've been seeing quite a few deep spots, I decided to go for another coat of epoxy before attempting to finally sand it entirely flat. The issue is that I don't have access to all the tools I have at home, so I just gotta keep at it. Trust me, this is still worlds easier than taking care of the bumper with all its corners and edges.
So yeah, I've gone completely through there. I'm gonna have to fix that. Only about 90% to go.
I applied 2 layers of epoxy so I get more of a build-up that I can give a final sand before clear coating. This is simply gonna give me more of a buffer before I go through the carbon once more.
Alright. First of all, I have to say thank you to my wife for helping me with literally everything and continuing to support me with everything. She's the freaking best. Anyway, that out of the way, I'll be home in about 2 weeks' time, and that's when I'll be able to show you the finished parts on the car in one of the coming videos. All these parts need now is probably a final sand down with a finer grit and then a couple of layers of clear coat, which is what I'm going to be doing at home in my own workshop. I do hope you enjoy this content because I have more amazing projects like this coming up. Stay tuned for more. See ya.